Hey everybody, I'm CJ, and yesterday there was a new trailer that was released for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And honestly, I'm kind of using the word new sort of loosely there. The reality is, this isn't radically different from the Justice League trailer that we got a few months ago. It's just number one, now there are a few extra shots included with it. And number two, it's completely in black and white because reasons. And this is the kind of thing that either you're up for the game with Zack Snyder's Justice League or you're not. And if you're not, there's really not a whole lot I can say that's going to change your mind about it. Now, I'm a fan of Man of Steel and of Batman v Superman. The theatrical version of Justice League, basically Joss Whedon's Justice League, was so frickin' underwhelming for me that it really did put a damper on a lot of my enthusiasm for DC characters on film. You know, basically the Snyderverse, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, that really was my investment. That really was my sort of gateway into caring about these characters in the context of the DCEU. And if Snyder isn't involved, it just doesn't really seem to have much of a point, at least in my opinion. So obviously, I took the news of Zack Snyder returning to Justice League and finishing his version of the movie or TV show or whatever this thing is going to become, miniseries, whatever. Finishing that version is, that was music to my ears for sure. And so this trailer that came out yesterday, I got to tell you, little underwhelming. There's just really not much new. It's basically showing us the same thing that we saw before, just in black and white. And like I say, maybe a few extra new shots, but that's pretty much it. And that either works for you or it doesn't. It doesn't really work for me, but whatever. Like I say, I'm a fan of the Snyderverse, but I got to tell you, the Snyder haters, more than once they've called the Snyder fans a cult. And I got to tell you, in some cases, guys, I'm starting to think there's actually something to that. I look at how some, probably shouldn't say who, naming names doesn't really gain me anything, but the just looking at how some Snyder fans are behaving online, I think I can kind of understand where the other side is coming from when they say, you guys are getting kind of weird with your fandom. I think I can understand that. And the the thing about it is, uh, excuse me, the like for me, uh, like I say, I enjoy Man of Steel. I enjoy BVS and everything, and I'm looking forward to this new version of Justice League. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I look at how other people, like the more, shall we say, vocal Zack Snyder fans are behaving, and I kind of have to agree. They're acting a little weird, and look, far be it from me to justify, not justify, to criticize somebody else's fandom. This isn't the sort of thing. I don't think, like 9 times out of 10, I don't think that fandom is something that has to be justified to others. The fact that you like something should be all you need. But this is one of those times when I don't mind identifying myself as a Zack Snyder, like a Snyderverse fan, but I would really hate it if somebody thought that I was one of the Kool-Aid drinkers. So, anyway, getting into the actual thing that I want to talk about, though, Zack Snyder has said on multiple occasions there is the possibility, and he always makes sure to triple underline this part, there is the possibility of more to come in the future in the way of Justice League 2 and actual Man of Steel sequels and all that. And he says, in theory, yes, those things are possible, but he also is usually quick to add that he just doesn't, at least right now, there is nothing planned, nothing has been agreed upon, nothing has been decided, nothing. And I gotta tell you, notwithstanding the fact that I don't want to be considered one of the Zack Snyder Kool-Aid drinkers, the idea of a Justice League 2 and Man of Steel sequels and all that fun stuff, presumably all directed by Zack Snyder, that actually really does appeal to me. That really is interesting, and I really would be interested to see what's coming with that. Now, as with Snyder, don't, I really don't know how likely that might be, based on exactly nothing. I get the idea that HBO Max, what they wanted was some kind of an answer to The Mandalorian. They wanted to be able to just pour some money into something, and with relatively little money spent by AT&T and relatively short production time, the amount of time it takes to finish what Zack Snyder shot before, all of that stuff taken together, AT&T's investment in time and in money. I'm talking about AT&T now, not Warner Brothers, but AT&T's investment in time and money in completing, or for that matter, reimagining the format of Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's just not going to cost, in a completely relative sense, it's not going to cost all that much, and it's not going to take very long. And I think that's the real driver here. If Justice League had been in a different state of completion, if it had required more work, I don't know that we would be getting it right now. I think one of the reasons, like I say, that AT&T is interested in it is because it's relatively low-hanging fruit. And with, like I say, minimal time investment, minimal monetary investment, this can be released and become, AT&T probably hopes this can become some kind of a gravy train for them. All right, I can't prove that. There's not a smoking gun quote that I can reference here and say, "Yep, here you go." But if I had to guess, I would say that that's probably why. And so that's what I think is going on here. Now, the time and the commitment that you need to finish Justice League is far and away different than the time and commitment you would need to make Justice League 2, to make Man of Steel sequels, and all that stuff. You just need, like, Justice League is, like I say, that's low hanging fruit. Justice League 2 would have to be created literally from the ground up, and I don't know that anyone necessarily has the appetite to do that. I don't know if Snyder himself has the appetite to do that. It's one thing to want to finish a movie or whatever this thing becomes. It's one thing to want to finish something that you've already started. I think for Snyder, it's quite another to want to start something new that has its own risks and its own pitfalls and all that stuff. So I guess you can think of this as kind of like a long way of saying anyone who's anticipating Justice League, look, no one knows the future. No one can say what the ultimate result of Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be. But if I were you, I would start preparing yourself right now for the possibility that this is the end of the line for the Snyderverse. And I say that as someone who is a fan of the Snyderverse. That you need to get comfortable with the idea that there's not going to be anything else after this. And then, of course, if there is anything else after this, well, hey, it's a pleasant surprise. But, guys, it's just a completely different order of magnitude, especially post Coof. It's a different order of magnitude in terms of difficulty and in terms of logistics and all that other stuff to continue with the Snyderverse with brand new content after Justice League. So that's just something to be aware of. Now, having said that, if Zack Snyder's Justice League is the sensation that sweeps the nation, I'm sure something can be arranged. But like I say, guys, if I were you, don't count on it. Anyway, so I'm CJ, and that's that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, comment, like, and share this video because it really helps me out. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Cole Loves Comics.